Hi students, here we are again with the next class on biology online. So last class or these classes we are learning about the diversity of living organisms. So there we learned that living organisms we find diversity or there are various kinds or variety of living organisms on the earth. Okay, so we should understand that all living organisms have their own importance on the earth. So we saw different kinds of living organisms, how they are classified, how they are grouped into different categories, all these things we studied. And in this present context, we should understand that all living organisms are one or the other way important for the earth, or the existence of one is needed for the existence of the other. All are important. So as a superior species, human beings have a moral role to protect other species. And you know what is a species? That also you study. Species are, don't forget that species are groups of living organisms having similar characters which can interbreed with one another to produce fertile offspring and which came from a common ancestor. So all the species on the earth are important. And nowadays we have heard about species extinction. Due to the activities of human beings, species are becoming extinct, and so many plants, many animals are no longer on the earth, and many are on the verge of extinction. So it is our duty to protect all these organisms. We should not overexploit them for our needs. So we'll begin today's class with another chapter. So this is about the living tissues. So we studied about the classification, how we are classifying organisms, why we are classifying organisms, all these things we studied in the last class. So now we'll deal with another chapter called structural organization in living organisms. So in this chapter, structural organization, we'll be learning about tissues, animal tissues. So before that, we'll have a short introduction. That is, in the first chapter, you have already studied about the diversity of living organisms. And we found that in that diversity, we find diverse kinds of living organisms, maybe unicellular or multicellular or any other ways. Unicellular organisms are there like amoeba, paramecium and all. There, what is the condition? All the living processes are performed by that single cell. And in multicellular organisms, there are different variety of cells, a group of cells which perform specific function. Like higher plants and animals, all those are multicellular organisms where we find there are a group of cells which are performing specific functions. And what do we call the group of similar cells performing a similar function? Yes, that is called a tissue. Okay, a tissue. So tissue is a group of cells, similar cells performing a similar function. So in the living organisms, multicellular organisms, there are variety of tissues which perform different function. Okay, so these tissues along with the intercellular material, that is these tissues, they are composed of cells. All the cells are arranged one near the other. And there is a intercellular material, space is there where fluid may be there. So there is communication between this intercellular material and the cells, and this intercellular material binds the cells together to form tissue. So along with this intercellular material, the cells have performed a function, that is a group of similar cells. We call it a tissue. So such an organization, we call it a tissue. And of course you remember that hierarchy. So a group of cells, similar cells are called tissue. A group of tissue, what do we call it? They are called the organs. And a group of organs form the organ system. And a group of organ systems will form an organism. Okay, so in the multicellular organisms we find division of labor. What is division of labor? All the activities are performed by a particular organ, or the activities are divided among that organs. Specific organ does a specific function. So in that all the work is being distributed among different organs and tissues. Okay, so we find multicellular organ, there is division of labor. So there are different organs are there, like stomach, intestine, lungs, kidneys. All these are part of separate organ systems. Lung is part of respiratory system. Intestine is part of digestive system. Kidney is part of excretory system. So like this, all the systems together function for the survival of that particular organism. I hope this is clear for you. So cells form tissues, tissues form organs, organs form organ system, organ systems will form or together form the organism as a whole. Okay, so in this chapter we will be learning about the animal tissues. So animal tissues, we studied now all these organ systems are there. But all these organ systems, they are made up of 4 different types of tissues. So all the organ systems in our body or the animals, they are made up of 4 different separate type of tissues. A combination of this we find. So this 4 tissues may be present in different proportion in the different organs according to the function they perform. Okay, so we will come to the 4 different types of animal tissues. First one is epithelial tissue. Second is muscular tissue. Third is connective tissue. Fourth is neural tissue. So I hope you have got an introduction in 9th standard about this. So 4 different types of tissues. A combination of these 4 only form the different organs of the organ system in our body or in the animals. So we have to, in this chapter we have to study about each one. Epithelial, muscular, connective and the neural tissues. So epithelial tissue. So epithelial tissue, what is the function? Mainly it is concerned with protection, secretion and absorption. So epithelial tissues, the main function is protection, secretion and absorption. Muscular tissue, the main function is it helps the movement and process of locomotion. Connective tissue, example of blood, bone, cartilage, all these are connective tissue. Their function is protection, transport, circulation and it helps in supporting and also binding together. Then fourth one is neural tissue. Neural tissue consists of the nervous system, neurons. The function is conduction of nerve impulses and they help in control and coordination. So this is the summary of what you have to study in this chapter. So epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective and the neural tissue. So all these tissues are present in the organs in different proportions. And these functioning of the tissues or the chemically and the mechanical, physical coordination of this functioning will together help in the functioning of the organ system. So we'll come to the epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue is commonly it is referred to as epithelium. Epithelium is a singular form and epithelia is a plural form. So epithelium and epithelium. And these mostly this epithelial tissues form the inner lining or outer surface of the body organs. So inner lining of the body where it is facing the body fluids. Contact with the body fluids may be lined with epithelial tissue or it may be also seen in the outer surface which is exposed to outside like the skin. And all these cells of this epithelial tissue they are arranged very close to each other with very less intercellular space. So these cells are arranged very close to each other with very less intercellular space and these cells are present on a basement membrane. So all the tissues, this epithelial tissues, they are present on a basement membrane which is actually non-cellular. So they are present on a basement membrane. So these cells, they are present on a basement membrane which is non-cellular. On that only we find this layers of cells. So this epithelial cells, cells of the epithelial tissue, they form the inner lining or outer surface of the body and they are present on a non-cellular basement membrane, and they are closely arranged with very less intercellular spaces or intercellular materials. Then coming to the two different types of epithelial tissue. Mainly it is classified into two different types. They are the simple epithelium and compound epithelial tissue. Simple epithelial tissue and the compound epithelium. Simple epithelial tissue, it consists of a single layer of cells. So simple epithelial tissue consists of a single layer of cells, and compound epithelial tissue which consists of many layers of cells arranged on a basement membrane. So on the basement membrane, a single layer, then we call it simple epithelium. And many layers of epithelial cells are formed, we call it compound epithelium. And the simple epithelium we find mainly in the ducts, blood vessels, walls of the blood vessels and all, we find this simple epithelium. And compound epithelium is found in the skin. You know, skin is concerned with protection of the body, so compound epithelium, since it consists of many layers of epithelial tissues, it provides protection. So it is a compound. So first we will discuss about the simple epithelium. Simple epithelium, again it is divided into different types based on the type of the cells which make up this simple epithelium. So simple epithelium, first it is divided into squamous epithelium, cuboidal, columnar. Okay, so simple epithelial tissues are divided into squamous epithelial tissue, cuboidal epithelial tissue and columnar epithelium. So squamous epithelial tissue which consists of irregular cells, thin flat cells with irregular boundaries, and these cells mainly they are found in the wall of the blood vessels and the air sacs inside the lungs, and their function is mainly diffusion of gas, or they are concerned with diffusion, so they form diffusion boundaries. Then cuboidal epithelium, the cells are cube-shaped cells, and they may be this cube-shaped cells. They are present inside the glands and also the proximal convoluted tubule. I don't think if you remember it, that is present in the, they are present in the nephrons. What are nephrons? Nephrons are the units inside the kidneys which help to filter the blood. So you remember, just to recall the structure of nephron. Like this, you study the next time. Okay, so this is the nephron. So inside the nephron, they are found in the this part of this nephron, that is PCT. It is called the proximal convoluted tubule. So this is called the PCT. Maybe remember it, we call it PCT. So that PCT, the nephron is lined by cuboidal epithelial tissue. So they are tube-shaped cells, and this is mainly concerned, or cuboidal epithelial cells are mainly concerned with secretion and absorption. So they help in the secretion and absorption in that particular part of the tissue or organ where they are present.
These are the three types of simple epithelial tissue. First one is irregular shaped cells, flattened cells with irregular boundaries, that is squamous epithelium. Second one is, you can see, cube shaped cells which forms the cuboidal epithelium. The third one is the long and slender cells with the nuclei at the base. They form the columnar epithelial tissue.
Sometimes the cuboidal epithelial cells, they have microvilli on their surfaces. So they are tiny projections on the surface of the cells, and these are concerned with secretion and absorption. So squamous epithelial tissue, they form diffusion boundaries, and cuboidal epithelial tissue, they are concerned with secretion and absorption. Now next is columnar. Columnar epithelial cells, they are tall and slender cells. They are tall and slender cells, and their function is they are concerned with, or they are tall and slender cells with the nuclear towards at the base. So nuclei. So suppose this is a columnar cell of the columnar tissue. So you can see nuclei at the base, and they also have microvilli on the surface. And these are found in the stomach and intestine. So they are also concerned with the same thing, secretion and absorption. So these are found inside the stomach and intestine. They are long, tall, slender cells with their nuclei towards the base, and they also have microvilli. And their function is secretion and absorption. Okay. Now these are the three types of simple epithelium. Now sometimes these columnar cells or cuboidal cells may have cilia on their surface. So we call it ciliated columnar epithelial cells. So when this epithelial cells, that is columnar cells, when they have cilia on their surface, we call it ciliated columnar epithelial cells. And the ciliated columnar epithelial cells, they are found inside the bronchioles and fallopian tube. That is, you know what is cilia. So the movement of the cilia helps in the movement of substances over that tissue. So inside the bronchioles, the cilia helps in the that is movement of the cilia, maybe removing the dust particles. And inside the fallopian tube, it is helping in the movement of the gamete, female gamete from the ovary to the uterus. So due to the lashing of this movement of the cilia, slowly the gametes are conveyed to the uterus. So in this way, ciliated columnar epithelial cells, they are found inside the bronchioles and the fallopian tube. They help in the movement of the materials across on that membrane. So these are the different types of simple epithelial tissue.